Hey friends, Scott Beckstead here on another Wild Horse Wednesday. The Bureau of Land Management has released its new livestock grazing rules, and these new rules take a system that is already broken and corrupt and deeply harmful to our western public lands and made it even worse. I've read these rules so you don't have to, but if you care about what happens on our western public lands, you should be paying attention. So let me just give you some top line observations. First, the overall arc of these new rules is to expand livestock grazing across the West by putting more livestock onto our western public lands, expanding livestock grazing into areas that have historically been restricted because they are environmentally sensitive. These new rules say that conservation and ecological restoration are not approved uses of our western public lands, that only the production of commodity livestock is an approved use. This is how the BLM is justifying the removal of hundreds of native wild bison in eastern Montana that live on our public lands in eastern Montana. A massive gift to the Montana cattlemen. Basically, because those wild bison are not commodity livestock, they are not approved to even be there. So all of those bison will be removed and replaced by thousands upon thousands of beef cattle. Again, a massive gift to the Montana beef lobby. These new rules basically reduce the opportunity for people who are concerned about livestock grazing policy to have any meaningful input. The rules basically say that unless you are a livestock grazing permittee, you do not have a stake, you do not have the opportunity to influence livestock grazing policy. And then the new rules basically continue this whole narrative of blaming wild horses for overgrazing and harm to our western rangelands, even though the BLM knows that by their own data, wild horses are responsible for less than 1% of overgrazing on these areas that are failing rangeland health standards. So that, of course, is going to be reflected in these mass roundups of nearly 15,000 wild horses and burros across the West, where these animals are going to be chased down by helicopter, removed from our public lands, and held in holding for the rest of their lives, many at risk of falling into the slaughter pipeline. So these are the top line observations I wanted to share with you. It again takes a bad system, makes it even worse, even more harmful. Wildlife don't matter, wild horses don't matter, the ecosystem doesn't matter. These new rules create a system of undisputed livestock dominance across our western public lands. And if you care, it's important that you speak out. Make sure your members of Congress know how you feel about these new livestock grazing rules. Tell them you want oversight. It's time to rein in the BLM. They are harming our ecosystems. They are harming our wildlife. And they're basically putting the fox in charge of the hen house by letting these public lands ranchers do whatever they want, cause whatever harm they want with no consequences whatsoever. So do take action and keep following what's going on here, friends. Stay involved and stay engaged. Till next time.